So we're going to start chapter 3. We're going to be working on inequalities, okay? Very similar to equation work, okay? But we're going to be looking at what's called set builder notation, which is something a little new this chapter. It will be new for almost all of you, okay? And then we'll also be looking at how to graph it, things like that, okay? So today we're kind of doing what I call the baby basics of inequalities, okay? Very basic stuff. Part of this we went through this summer, okay? So some of this will be review for you, and some of it might be a little new, okay? All right, so on example 1 here, it says write an inequality to represent the verbal expression, okay? So all real numbers x less than or equal to -7. Now, before we get cranking too far on this, because this was an issue a little bit this summer, is when I would say less than or greater than, you didn't know what I was talking about. All right? So, what is this one? Is this less or greater?
Greater.
It's less. All of you said less. Okay? Keep in mind, it looks like an L, so you can spell out less. Okay? Or if you want to think about a number line, right? It's pointing towards the negatives versus the positives. So I don't care how you think of it, but you have to know less and greater. Okay? All right, so all real numbers x less than or equal to -7. How do you think you write this? Don't overthink it. Okay? Maddie, what do you got?
X is less than negative, with the line over it and then -7.
Very good. So x is less than or equal to -7. Okay? Less than or equal, that was a review from the summer. Okay? That's something hopefully you know. Now, when they put this stuff out front, all real numbers, they're just saying every number that we've currently worked with. So all the numbers that we know, x is going to be less than or equal to -7. So don't let the all real number part get you. Okay? All right, so now on the next one, it says 6 less than a number k is greater than 13. First off, let's change this. There's a typo. The book is going to put less than a lot, but technically it should be just the word less. Okay? All right. So let's start with 6 less a number k. How do we write that part? 6 less a number k. Okay, Ashley, what do you think?
6 with the less symbol.
I'm going to stop you there. No. Okay, if you look back here, less than or equal to is greater than. A lot of times we're going to see the is less than, is. So what else could less mean? Minus. Very good. Subtraction. So how do you do 6 less a number? Oh, no. K minus 6, right? Less means push the 6 out back. So we'd have K minus 6. No, less. Less. Okay. So, K minus 6 is greater than, which way does that go? Does that point this way or that way?
It opens that way.
It opens
This
that
way.
way. So it points that way?
Yes.
Opens that way. I've never heard anybody say it opens that way. Alright, so keep in mind, if I'm doing a greater, right, greater, if you want to think about, again, it's going to go towards the positives, you can do that, however you need to remember it, okay? Less than and greater than, you've got to know those symbols though. Yep.
Wait, so less than, we have to do a line under it?
No, only if it says equal to.
Oh,
So less than or equal to, this is just greater
if
than.
it says greater than or equal to, do we have to do it for the greater?
Right, if you have equal, if he says equal to in there, you got to put the equal sign.
Like, it does not either one to be either way. No, I mean like, you, yeah.
Yeah, you're okay. I got you. Okay? Alright, does anybody have a question on that? Okay, so let's do the next one. The sum of t and 7 is less than -3.
Would be 2 plus 7 is less than
Yeah, nice job. Okay, so the word sum means addition. So t plus 7 less than -3. Okay? Alright, does anybody have a question on any of those? Okay, so then it says a solution to an inequality. Any blank that makes the inequality. Okay, so any solution or any answer, however you want to put that. Any solution that makes the inequality true is going to be an answer. Okay, so a solution to an inequality will be any number that makes your statement true. So now, when we have inequalities, can we have lots of answers? One answer, no answers? about it for a second. If you graph just a random one, we're gonna look at graphing here in just a second, but we reviewed that this summer. So if we have x, let's say it's greater than or equal to 5, right? So if I'm doing that at 5, do we have opened or closed? Remember, closed, and we're going this way. How many answers do we have there? A lot more than one, right? Don't we have an infinite number of solutions? Because it's 5, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, right? Every decimal fraction, 5.11111, okay? All the way up to positive infinity, right? It just keeps moving. So when we have an inequality, oh, that was not right. So when we have an inequality, I can't draw it very well. Inequality, it's going to go on forever and ever and ever, okay? So you're going to have an infinite number of solutions. Versus if we have an equation, we get how many answers? 1, okay? So you need to know the difference between that, okay? So now, when we're looking at example 2 here, okay, they're going to give you an inequality, and they're going to give you possible solutions. And what you've got to figure out is, does any of them work? Okay, will any of them work? So how do we figure out if -3 is going to work here? What are we going to do? Okay, Ashley, what do you think?
You put in for x.
Yeah, just plug it in and see if it works. Okay, see if it's true or not. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 times -3 plus 1, and that should be greater than -3. So all I did was take this guy right here and plug it in. All right, now, do order of operations, so do your multiplication first. So what's 2 times -3? -6 plus 1. Good. -5. Is -5 greater than -3? Okay, remember alligator has to eat the bigger number. Is the alligator eating the bigger number here? No. So does this work? No. So this is false. Okay? Or you put an X there, whatever you want to do. Okay, does not work. Okay, so this number is out. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing with -1. So 2 times -1 plus 1 is greater than -3. Okay. All right, so what is 2 times -1?
-2.
-2. So -2 plus 1 greater than -3. So what's -2 plus 1?
-1.
So is -1 greater than -3?
Yes.
Yeah, alligator's eating the bigger number here, so this works. Okay, or this is true. However you want to think of it. Okay? All right, so your final answer then is you're going to put whatever numbers work. You might get none that work, you might get 1 that work, you might get 20 that work. Whatever works, that's what you write in as an answer. So we know -1 is going to be a solution. So we're going to put -1, and it's in set brackets, so we have to put it in set brackets. This is a set of numbers. Now, if you're not very good at drawing these yet, do not tell me that it's curved or boxed. Don't give me this. Don't try to pass this off. Don't try to pass this off. Those are not the same thing. Okay, you need to do a set bracket. If you're not very good, you can make like 2 little humps and put an arrow between it or whatever. If you can't do it in 1, do it in 3 little steps. Okay? But start practicing and you'll eventually get it. Okay? I know this is a little tricky for some of you to draw. But you can't give me a box or parentheses. Okay? All right. We've already kind of talked about B a little bit, so let's go ahead and drop down to C, and I want you to try C on your own. Okay, so plug them in and see which ones work and which ones don't.